Summer of Love. Don't worry, you have clicked on the Insomnia video, but I just thought I'd say what I'm doing right now is I'm packing to go to a festival called Festival this weekend on the Isle of Wight, and the theme is Summer of Love. I'm trying to figure out how to do a theme, Summer of Love costume, and I figured out any bit of clothing can instantly be made into Summer of Love. That's by adding a quite tacky, garish but obviously blingy piece necklace, which I'll be wearing at the festival to get into the whole theme of love and summer and everything else that is to do with Summer of Love. God, it's tacky, isn't it? To be honest though, I probably will stop wearing this after a while because, I'll be dancing around in the crowd, throwing some moves and that. And when you've got a necklace on you and you're throwing some moves, it generally can not be the most comfortable of situations, just bouncing around there on your chest. That doesn't sound dirty at all, I hope. Because the first thing I worry about with that is that I'm just going to be dancing around, it's going to fly up and hit me straight in the face. In fact, there will probably be a video at some point during the festival of me being hit in the face by that necklace and not proclaiming peace and love, but hate and anger for everything silver, metal and tacky. Even metal? I don't know. Anyway, insomnia. Oh, that wonderful topic. Where do I begin? I have a poem about insomnia actually. It goes, insomnia, you crafty old bugger. F off and die. As you can tell, this video will definitely be a bit more serious than the usual ones. The first time I had insomnia, it truly was one of the most terrifying experiences of my life. I know that might sound weird, but hear me out. Or at least it was for me, because I was just laying there thinking all kinds of nightmarish thoughts like, why me? What have I done to deserve this? Why have I lost a basic ability which doesn't only unite all humans, but quite a few animals as well. Most animals sleep as well. It's just one of those things. How is it that I can't do it all of a sudden? And then the thoughts get worse and worse, like, oh my god, I'm never going to sleep ever again, what's going to happen to me? I was so freaked out at the time that I actually knocked on my housemate's bedroom door and just to ask them if they were having any issues with sleeping, and actually they were still up at the time because they were students, and students naturally are night owls, and it was third year, so we had all kinds of deadlines, so basically they were up at 3 in the morning doing notes. At least they had a reason to be up. It's never been that bad since, thankfully. The sense of anguish has been replaced by a frustration, really. Just so annoying more than anything. And the only comfort I can take from it, in a way, is this grimly acknowledging that I'm not alone. Apparently there was one survey in 2011 by the Mental Health Foundation. It found out that 30% of Brits have insomnia or some sort of sleep-related illness or, disorder. But is it hardly surprising? I mean, we live in a world that seems to refuse to switch off. Media, businesses, events all go on at all hours of the night. No longer is there an end point where the TV just stops and turns off. The internet never, shuts down for a bit, and some supermarkets are 24 hours, and you can go and do your shopping at 2 in the morning if you want to, for some reason. On top of that, many of us just push our bodies to the limits in terms of sleeping. We just completely disregard it. I mean, sometimes there's a good cause there, sometimes we're earning money for our families, working hard. Other times just you want to extend the euphoria of a good night out, you don't want it to end. And we just completely forget that sleep is really kind of important to us. We just think, we sort of wear it like a badge of honour. Like, oh yeah, I only got 4 hours sleep last night, oh look at me. The rest of my family, in contrast, have no issues with their sleep. I mean, my sister and my dad even, they drop off as soon as they hit the blankets. I mean, if I was a superhero, if I had any power in the world, it wouldn't be strength, it wouldn't be speed, it'd be to sleep on demand. I'd love to get into bed and just fall asleep like that. What I'd give to learn that, but I can't, and it's something that really bugs me sometimes. It isn't just the experience that's unbearable though, it's knowing that the next day, the aftermath, is going to be horrible. You just feel groggy all day, squinting through the daylight, trying to get things done while nowhere as efficient as you normally be. It's just so annoying. So the first time I properly had insomnia, it was towards the end of my first semester of my final year at university. As if deadlines and job applications weren't already enough on my plate, I was also co-running a student radio station, I was writing for local magazines, I was doing this YouTube channel as well, and I was just about keeping up with it all, I was getting things done, working my absolute socks off to get everything done in time. But the thing was, I'd work all during the day and I just couldn't switch off at night because I was just so wired onto getting things done. I think it was like the first week of December 2013, that was one of the worst weeks of my life, it was to sleep. Just for 3 or 4 days I got about, 2 or 3 hours a night, and on a Thursday night, I didn't think I got any sleep at all. I just stayed up all night, and it was just, next day I was just wired, I was so on the edge. I mean, my emotions were just hanging by a thread, and my stammer, which never really makes an appearance much nowadays, just came on full throttle. It was at its peak at that point. I could barely string a sentence together. It was crazy. Thankfully, I did manage to get some shut-eye that night, but even so, it was ages until it all sort of settled down. I think it was, yeah, my January exam, so halfway through January before everything just calmed down again. Now insomnia only rears its ugly head on a few rare occasions, usually when I'm getting too philosophical about what I'm doing with my life, what's the whole point of everything. But it still happens every now and then. I had it on Monday, well no, I had it on Sunday night, which meant that I was then groggy on Monday, if that makes sense. But it's one of those things now I just sigh about it and think, well, here we go, let's get it over and done with, and just ponder what the next day will be like with extra grogginess added into it. Thankfully though, there are a few things that I have learnt along the way to help deal with it, and it's one of those things that you have to just accept and try your best to deal with, really. You can't fight it too much because it only makes you even more nervous, more stressed out. But in the event that you're also suffering with insomnia, I just want to be here to say, you know, it is possible to get through it, and here's my tips for helping to deal with it. First of all, switch everything off. It's so easy with all the devices we've got at our disposal just to keep checking Facebook or find something to watch on Netflix if you can't get to sleep. You just think, oh no, I'll put the TV on for a bit and I'll doze off. I find that's the worst thing ever, just because you keep staring at a screen, the light from the screen just, it sends your brain into, it wires the brain, it makes it like, oh yeah, gotta be awake, gotta get up. Me personally, I make sure to turn off all my devices at least half an hour before going to bed, and I make sure my phone is on the other side of my room there, away from my bed, just over here, because then it means that I, you know, haven't got the urge to get out of bed and check my phone. It also means in the morning that when my alarm goes off, I have to get up out of bed and go and press it, which then gets me out of bed, so I'm like, well, I'm up now, might as well get on with things. Number 2, exercise. Quite simply, the body needs to burn energy. It's one of those facts of life. And even just doing half an hour on most days of cardio, like, you know, of fast walking, of cycling or running, something like that. Half an hour is not long out of each day, but it makes you feel like you're ready for bed in the evening because you feel tired. You feel like, yep, the day's over, time to move on to the next one. Number 3, powering down. Once all my devices are off, I settle into one of those bygone artifacts. Number 3, powering down. Once everything's turned off, once all my devices are switched off, I settle down into one of those... Number 3, powering down. Once everything's turned off, I settle down into one of the artifacts of a bygone age called a book. I don't know why I picked up a theory test and highway codes because I'm learning it at the moment properly. Even more stress. Just take it nice and slowly, knock off a few chapters, and after that, I actually do a few breathing exercises, which sounds really hippie in a way, but for me actually I found it really does help. Just sort of inhale to the point where you can feel the back of your throat, then hold it for about 5 seconds, and then exhale, breathe out. Seriously, focus on that and nothing else, and everything just evaporates from your mind. Number 4, the bed itself. Sometimes something as simple as opening a window to cool the room can work wonders. Honestly, it can be hard to realise this sometimes when all your energy is focused on just getting you asleep. So take a blanket off, open the window, do whatever you need to do to make the room a little bit cooler or change temperature, maybe make it a bit warmer, and just see if it makes a difference. And number 5, embrace it. I mean, they say not to keep an eye on the clock, but if you laid there for quite a while and it feels like, you know, 20 minutes, half an hour, it's obvious you're not going to get to sleep anytime soon. You might as well get out of bed and do something. Read a book, meditate, just do something that's not strenuous and not in your actual bed. So get up out of the bed, like into a chair, or go downstairs, somewhere away from it, so that you're in a different environment, and then when you feel tired, give it another go. I hope that's helped somewhat. I mean, those things have certainly helped me in the past, you know, and it's still an ongoing battle for me some nights, but it's certainly a lot better than it was before, so hopefully help you guys too. Have a good one, and I'll see you on the other side. Something that isn't depressing though is the most amazing tweet that JK Rowling, our saviour, sent this on a big Tuesday, would have been on the 1st September. Hopefully a fair few of you figured out why it was an important date, but me, I just completely glazed over it until she mentioned this important fact.